Welcome back, everybody. We dived into that article. We looked at it. We saw BTS going to the military. Typically in Korea, there are some exceptions to the military service when it comes to men. And if you have some sort of special sort of contribution to the Korean image worldwide, certain people can get exemptions to going to the military. This is often happening with especially like classical artists or people who play classical music and who do traditional Korean music. But it doesn't apply to the pop music. And so there was a bit of an outcry like maybe BTS should be part of this exemption. They have done more to contribute to the Korean image than anyone else, as the argument has gone. But it was a moot point. Mm-hmm. People just need to kind of get over it because BTS will be going to the military with an exemption or not. I believe they think it would be best for them to go into the military. Mm-hmm. They're going to do their time, and one's already joined and the rest are on their way. But of course, in the past, there has also been celebrities mm-hmm. who have gotten kind of like a cushy gig in the military. But that also has disappeared. Mm-hmm. So BTS also will be doing the normal work. Maybe they don't want to be looked at, who knows? But they'll be doing just the average, everyday Joe's army job mm-hmm. for a couple years or however long the service is these days. Mm-hmm. And then coming back out, hopefully, probably with a lot of singles because the other members will be in at that time. And then they'll big reunion mm-hmm. sort of thing a few years later, reunion mm-hmm. tour. Yeah.
I think that sounds pretty cool to me, that no artist wants to become sort of oversaturated because people eventually will get sick of stuff if it's too much. So I think better to take a break before people start to get sick of it or bored with it, and then make them want more, always leave them wanting more. And then when you come back, you can be bigger than ever, perhaps.
Yeah, and I think that's why they go to the military one by one so they can hit off their singles career. Mm-hmm. And then they can come back with a singles career. And then no one forgets about BTS because someone's doing something, mm-hmm. but then the band gets together again. Mm-hmm. And that's like all nostalgia toward mm-hmm. 2028. I don't know when they're going to come out, but mm-hmm. yeah, a while from now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is the true meaning of making a comeback. I think in the K-pop world, every release mm-hmm. they make, they call it a comeback. But they released their previous album only 5-6 months ago, and now they're making a comeback. I don't understand this use of the term. You got to wait a while, and then it really is a comeback, coming back from the dead.
So the military's death now.
Well, I was going to go for prison.
Korea does have a mandatory service. Some have claimed that maybe moving towards the U.S. side of things, of having a voluntary paid service would be better for Korea. Some people say military service needs to be mandatory because of the threat up north. Mm-hmm. Do you have any opinions on that?
Honestly, I think to have any kind of opinion about this subject, you'd have to know, well, how many people do they need to maintain the border security, and how many people do they think would willingly volunteer for that job if they gave, a reasonable pay rate for it? So because I don't know the numbers, could they do it on voluntary service? I don't know.
I think there could be pros and cons. Just with my imagination, the pros of mandatory is you always have a stable force. Mm-hmm. The pros with voluntary is you can probably specialize like America does do. Mm-hmm. And you do get people who want to be there rather than who are just trying to serve real quick and get out. But, there's cons and stuff too. The only thing that I could see maybe working out, is that jobs are so competitive these days that if there was suddenly a, whatever, few hundred thousand strong job opening that happened, like people might sit down and be like, this is not so bad of pay. I might as well sign up for it. Mm-hmm. It's what happens in the U.S. But, again, you have to crunch the numbers. Mm-hmm. And I don't know enough about Korean military numbers to give an opinion on this one.
Yeah. Definitely agree. But yeah, I think the UK is the same. I think people, especially in times of great unemployment, or if they are kind of a bit unsure about what career path they could take, it often is a well-paid, decent opportunity you can do for a while. So lots of people do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
You can even do it to pay for your university.
That's another big thing, is
It's a
paying
common
for
option.
university in the US. That's how they get you.
Do you think it's unfair that only men have to serve in the military? Why don't women need to serve? Do you think that due to advances with military technology, why not make everybody serve, regardless of gender?
I don't know if this is still going on, but I kind of like the idea that happens with the U.S. Marine Corps. Mm-hmm. They say if you can pass all our tests, you're in. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter who or what you are. I guess if you're a dog, maybe you can't. Although there has been Marine dogs before. Anyways, that aside, if you're a human and you can pass the test, you're in. Mm-hmm. Now, there are still some limitations for women in the military, a lot of the military in the U.S., even there. What about UK? Do they have limitations for women?
No, I don't think so. Again, I think especially for the infantry and perhaps the Marines as well, that if you can pass the test, you're in. Yeah. And we do have female Marines. Yeah. I have seen them on TV. So
yeah. So I think with Korea, I mean, I've heard from Koreans, I don't know perfectly well, but that the laws were made for this, mm-hmm. and to change this, the laws have to change. Mm-hmm. And so maybe the laws could change, and women could make it into the military, mm-hmm. Just as much as men for mandatory service, or make it all voluntary and people work whatever. Mm-hmm. But from people I've talked to, there hasn't been a whole lot of pushback on opening up the laws for that.
Agreed. Whenever this comes up in class, I'd say 99% of all the women are like, fine, make it gender equal.
Whatever. And so, I think in the end, the laws have to change, because that's what's really keeping mandatory service for everyone, just for men. Mm-hmm.
On that slightly confusing note, let's go to the vocabulary section, clarify a few things, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cool.
Moot point.
Moot point.
Enlistment.
Enlistment.
Get something over with.
Get something over with.
Duly.
Duly.
Shoe in.
Shoe in.